Greetings shippers, welcome back, and we need to dive back into the realm of Supernatural, a juggernaut of a fandom and series that has left a permanent imprint on shipping culture, first with the controversial Wincest, and then later with the all-encompassing Destiel, both of which would be referenced and mocked and ultimately embraced by both the show itself and the cast and crew, to varying degrees when it came to the latter group, which is understandable. Everybody has their own unique relationship with transformative fandom, and where one falls within it, and how they experience it, and those experiences naturally color how they will approach it. We have also talked about some of the other pairings the show offers, though they tend to get lost in the shadows when compared with the big two. However, one that is a strong contender, even more so at the time of this recording, is Sabriel. We discussed Sabriel a while back on this channel, but thanks to the lovely folks over on Patreon, it is time for an update. You've all been asking for it, and it is indeed time, for when we first talked about the pairing of Sam Winchester and the Archangel Gabriel, Gabriel was seemingly dead, and had been for seasons. However, with the show as long lived as Supernatural, and with such a beloved fan favorite character coupled with an actor who was still actively engaged in the fandom, all the ingredients were there for his triumphant return. And return he did in season 13. And not just for a one-off either, for a whole arc. So what does that mean for Sabriel? Well, let's get into it. Firstly, if you missed our first vid about Sabriel, of course click the card or the link will be down below, cause there we covered the basics of what exactly drew or repelled people from Sabriel there. But some brief cliff notes, very brief. Sabriel really took off after the whole Angel arc, and the reveal that Gabriel, formerly known as Loki, was, well, Gabriel. Also, that's a bit of canon that they tackle in season 13. Sabriel became a bit of a pairing for those who were looking for Sam to have an angel too, though there was of course more to it, as many enjoyed the Gabriel-Sam dynamic, and there were some who had been feeling that pull since Gabriel's first appearance back when he was the trickster, and some will prickle at the idea that Sabriel needed Destiel to happen. However, there is no denying that the latter pairing gave it a boost, and in no way does it make it a lesser than pairing, simply one that had some interplay with others, as is often the case, as fandom is very interconnected. The things that happen within it will impact other pairings within the same fandom. It can at times feel as though Sabriel is being overshadowed though, just because of the overwhelming amount of Destiel content, though that has changed slightly, more on that later. However, it is still a fact that Sabriel will often be a co or sub pairing in Destiel fics. However, Sabriel can and does stand on its own, and when one came to ship it is much less important than what they do when they get there. For some, season 13 was their jumping on point for Sabriel, which is understandable. The connection between these two characters and the parallels between them are front and center in season 13, sometimes even overtly stated, such as for example episode 18, when Sam is attempting to motivate an injured and tortured Gabriel by telling him that he understands him, he's been where he is, he knows what it's like to be different from the rest of your family, and to want out, but that he needs him. Direct quote.
Jack, your nephew, needs you. The world needs you. We need you. Gabriel, I need you.
The Gabriel who returns in season 13 is much darker than the one who last left us all the way back in season 5, though there was that recreation in season 9. Sam was also more worldly and a lot more settled into his place as a Winchester, which allows him to be the one giving advice and comfort for once. As oh, is there ever wump in this season, and nothing activates some authors and artists like good old-fashioned hurt comfort. Gabriel is also motivated by Sam and also Castiel's torture to recover and kill his former captor Asmodeus, to save them, but fans of this pairing were quick to note that the camera panned over to Sam first. As for those who were already invested in this pairing, season 13 provided more fodder and moments. This was to add to their now expanding lexicon. For some it proved a reinvigoration, as while some shippers can keep the fire burning without needing to see the characters on screen together, others require a bit more of a firm canonical basis to remain invested, though some can find themselves fueled just by being in their fandom of choice and by hanging around with other shippers, be that in real life or digitally. Sabriel now stands firm as the third most common pairing in the Supernatural fandom, and the most popular involving Sam. And just for some archive of our own stats at the time of this recording, meaning that they may change, they are the 21st most popular pairing overall. From humble beginnings indeed. The Supernatural fandom is a massive one, and at this point when it comes to what one can expect when they dive in looking for fic or art, the answer is pretty much anything. As for Sabriel, there has been an increase in work surrounding the new canon introduced in season 13 and beyond, alongside some fix-its for the ending, which once more has left the world without Gabriel, but if he came back before, he can again, or could. The series is finishing, but your fic, your rules. You can have Gabriel back whenever you want. One thing is certain, whether looking for canon-based fare, or fics that now have been galvanized to include Gabriel, or the crop that never forgot him in the first place, there is plenty to choose from. And using tags is definitely helpful, as being such a large fandom, Supernatural can often be a crossing point for many tropes and AUs, and not every trope is for everyone. The return of Gabriel was a fun time, and exciting one for not just shippers, but fans of the character in general. general. It introduced some new lore and cleaned up some of those "but how was he Loki and also Gabriel" questions. There's a lot of Sam tending to Gabriel here, and there is a care there, bolstered by the good relationships all these actors have off-screen, which lends an ease and credence to their on-screen interactions that many fans are able to run with in a transformative space. These two do have a fundamentally different dynamic to Dean and Cass, which for some is part of the appeal and makes them an obvious pairing that need not disrupt others. As for some who are not multi or poly shippers, that can be a concern. As ever, different strokes for different folks. Now for those who are not aboard the Sabriel train, for some season 13 was a tipping point, as it demonstrated a more even and caring relationship between the two, while others remained unsold, as the issues or just general lack of interest they had in it before still stood. Also, some felt that it was diving into unhealthy territory, especially with the torture and some of the reliance that Gabriel seemed to have on Sam after. Did the return of Gabriel reignite your love for the ship? Did it never leave you, or was this your first foray? Share down below. And are you sad that the ride that was Supernatural is coming to a close? Or perhaps is already closed, depending upon when you're watching this. Let me know all of your feelings as always. Thanks so much as always for taking some time out of your day to discuss shipping with me. I always appreciate it. And special thanks to all my patrons. Names is always on the side, and there's an other vote ongoing at the time of this recording. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more shipping videos. Let me know if you need those moments, and I will see you again soon. Stay tuned, for there are as many ships out there as there are stars in the sky.